Hello everyone and welcome to another FOTN review. Let me bring the camera closer. Yeah, this is for the fight of the night of UFC on ESPN, the first UFC on ESPN event, the main event of which was Ngannou vs. Cain Velasquez. It was in the Talking Stick Resort Arena in Phoenix, Arizona, and the fight of the night in question was Vicente Luque against Bryan Barbarena, because pretty much of course it was going to be. They're two amazing dudes. And you might be asking why I didn't get this review up sooner. Well, Monday and Tuesday I was babysitting. Luckily, Tuesday was my last day of babysitting, so woo. And yesterday, I just completely forgot. So I'm doing it today. And yeah, we have quite a lot to go through. Vicente, my hands are shaking like crazy. Vicente won in round 3 with 6 seconds left by a TKO. It was not an easily achieved one, though. So, fight starts. Both guys, touch gloves. There's a lot of respect in this fight, which I quite like. And they touch gloves, and immediately Vicente is doing a lot of progression. He's the one moving forward more. He's landing a lot more punches than Bryan is. Vicente was doing great things with his stance switching as well, and landing some really good body shots. And Barbarena is a dude who can get hit in the head a lot, and he can survive. But being hit in the body is a little bit tough for him. But he managed to survive it a lot better in this fight than he does in most others I've seen him in. So it's good to see that he's developed a sort of resistance and toughness for that sort of stuff. And Vicente was landing pretty good. He rocked Barbarena a couple of times. He landed some really huge shots, especially with his right hand. He had a really good left-right combo. That looks like a cat's paws. But it was that's more like it. It was really, really good. He was landing a lot of his shots on Barbarena. And Barbarena, his back was up against the cage a lot of the time. But he managed to tough it out, and he even knocked down Vicente. And this is sort of when the fight got a lot more interesting, because he knocked down Vicente, landed a lot of good ground and pound. Vicente managed to counter, get up, and get Barbarena's back. Sunk in a really nasty looking rear naked choke, but Barbarena managed to get out of it. But as he did, Vicente sunk in a DOS choke. Barbarena managed to survive out of that one as well, and landed some great elbows to end the round. Round 1 was really, really exciting. It took a little bit of a while to get going, but when it did, it really got going, and I definitely give the majority of round 1 to Vicente. I feel like he landed a lot more. His submission attempts were really good, but Bryan's defense and the moments he had, they're not to be overlooked in my opinion. I really, really liked it. So, round 2. Round 2 was sort of a huge book flip. In round 2, Vicente looked a little bit more tired. Barbarena looked a little bit more fresh. And you wouldn't think after the end of round 1, with Vicente landing as many shots as he did, that he would look like he did, because his face looked a bit nasty, whereas Bryan's looked a little bit swollen, and that's it. He did not look terrible at all when he was being hit in the face. He wasn't even bleeding. I don't think he was even swollen that much. He looked like he could have been hit by a truck, and he would have survived without breaking anything. So that was kind of impressive. But yeah, round 2 was definitely more Bryan's round. I definitely give the second round to him. He stood in Vicente's range, landed a lot of really, really good straight shots, especially to the body as well. There was a moment, I think it was in this round, where Vicente went for a leg kick. Something he should have been doing more, in my opinion. He went for a leg kick and sort of clipped Bryan's cut, but Bryan was completely fine, so they continued the fight. And that was a nice little moment. They're like, oh, you alright? Yeah, I'm fine. So, yeah. But round 2 was pretty much all Bryan. Vicente did land some really good counter shots, but it was pretty much all Bryan's round. He managed to get a lot of good shots around and through Vicente's guard as well to land on him, and that's there to build up the damage. But much like how round 1 was Vicente dominating, but Bryan ending on top, round 2 was sort of similar. Bryan was landing a lot of the shots, he was dominating, he was pressing forward, but then Vicente managed to turn it around and get Barbarena against the cage, I think, or on the ground, and land some good ground and pound on him. And that closed out round 2. And I have to say, the crowd throughout this entire fight was phenomenal. They were so into it, and I love it when a crowd is into a fight that was as good as this one was, because that makes me get into it a lot more. And, American crowds especially are super into it, but I think it might depend on the state, really. So yeah, the Phoenix, Arizona crowd was freaking rabid for this fight, and for good reason. So, yeah. And then we get to round 3, which was pretty much the first 2 rounds combined. Both men it was sort of a term used in the UFC which is called phone booth fighting, where it was just 2 men really, really close together. That sounds weird out of context, but they were just landing shot after shot on each other. Bryan, even though Bryan had the shorter reach advantage, he managed to land a lot more shots than Vicente did. So, yeah, but that works well in a shorter range then when you've got... that works well in a smaller, closer fight when you've got a shorter range than the other guy does. But yeah, like, round 3 was exciting. It built and built and built until it reaches crescendo. Vicente managed to land some really, really good shots, but he was looking knackered near the end of round 3, in my opinion. Barbarena was still looking a lot fresher, especially considering the amazing second round that he had. And eventually, Vicente managed to get Bryan against the cage, which was sort of the story of the fight, if you can say there was a story. He managed to get him against the cage. There was some good clinch work throughout the fight, but this was probably the best stuff when Vicente managed to land a couple of knees and Bryan was down, and a few more punches, and the referee stopped the fight with 6 seconds left. Because Bryan was pretty out of it after those knees, and it was absolutely the right call, I think. I don't know if it was stopped too early because there was 6 seconds left in the fight. And I personally feel that if it had gone on... Oh man. It's tough to think who would win. It's good that Vicente finished it because I think Bryan might have won otherwise because Vicente was amazing in round 1, Bryan was amazing in round 2. The two were amazing back and forth in round 3, but I feel like Bryan just got a little bit more than Vicente did personally. But I have no complaints about this fight. I think this is an early consideration for one of my fights of the year. Like, it was super duper exciting. I loved the crowd. The fighters were both really respectful. They both kicked the crap out of each other. Some really good referee work from Jason Herzog, who is viciously underrated as the third man in the cage. I love his work. And, yeah, it was fantastic. I really, really liked it. I don't really have a lot of complaints. The finish was really good. The fight throughout it was really, really good. Yeah, I really liked it. It could be in my top 10 of the year, probably. So that's really all I have to say about it. It was just a really fun, exciting fight. The crowd were phenomenal. The fighters, Vicente Luque and Bryan Barbarena, both are really, really good. And I still say this, believing it, Vicente is going to be a champion one day. I believe that. He's going to be the welterweight champion. I don't know when, but he's going to be. I feel it in my head, in my heart, in my bones. So that'll about do it for this all in all fantastic fight. And I will see you all probably on Saturday for the next backtracking episode. Because today I've got the last episode, the last album to write for the Incendiary episode, but I don't want to put the video out tomorrow because that's like too much of me at once, so I'll give it a day and then I'll post it on Saturday, and then because there's Fight of the Night on Saturday, I'm not going to do that one on Sunday, I'm going to save that for Monday. I think that's a good, that's a good balance. So I'll see you all for those, and I'm pretty sure that soon there will be Music of the Month. So, yeah, February's been pretty interesting in that regard, but we'll get to that when we get to it. And I'll see you all very, very soon, in a couple of days, for more backtracking, more Fight of the Night, and more of the stuff I usually do on my channel. And as always, because I got nothing else to say, thank you for watching, you're awesome, bye-bye.